Hello. Kaleidoscope blanket assembly. So I started to put it together. I have the bottom row done. Sorry about the mess in here. There is like kids homeschool ditties. A cake. We had a birthday party yesterday. I'm just gonna put the water away before it knocked over. And then a whole lot of sweets for Mama to keep her going. Okay. So the blanket, I didn't press it. I told you as well, I don't feel like I want to tack it, and I think it was a very, very good idea. So the blanket looks like this. This is the row 7 done. It's quite big, but I'm sure if I get it added, the other row, it will kind of stretch out into the square a little bit more. It's cute. It's cute. It was worth the time at this very moment. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. So basically I'm actually using the ends of the squares to attach them to each other. And I'm leaving the bottom edge, this edge, loose, and I'm leaving all the ends loose as well. But I'm going to be threading them in. It's like I did the other video as well. I'm just gonna scoop myself up a little bit. So I'm gonna just stitch them in as I go as well. And it works wonders. Okay, so it's two things at one. The stitch looks really kind of a nice at the back. I'm happy with it, very happy. And I'm not hard to please, I'm very easygoing. So in kind of even crafts as well. There are things that annoy me is if the lines don't add up. That's the only thing that annoys me. So yeah, I'm gonna put you in time lapse and let you to kind of look how I'm doing it a little bit. I'm gonna scoop it down, moving closer to here while my daughter does the homeschool. It's nearly over. They can go to school on Monday. They're happy too. But nevertheless, we'll see how we get on. I'm going to do another 2 rows. Yeah, that's a happy child there. Anyways, be back in a few minutes. I'll just come in and show you as I get in along, and we keep doing it. So now I have 2 done. Hi. They look actually like you see now, I haven't pressed them. So the diamonds are coming together very cute, but we won't see them until we are actually getting the side seams together as well. So I'm gonna pull you in. I'm starting the 3rd one, the 3rd row up. And I'm gonna show you how I actually stitch it together a bit, and then I'm gonna go back in kind of fast forward. Where is my needle? Okay, this is, oh yeah, here it is. Put it in a safe place. Once you put it in a safe place, and then next thing you're like, where has it gone? So I'm gonna scoop it down, come to you closer to me. So I'm taking one of them and the other one and they are right sides together, and so I'm going to look for which one is a longer end, what needs to be used. I start with a small square here, the first one, like I'm going to use this one. Gonna attach through. And the thing is, what you need to remember, you have to make sure that you take the outer edge, okay? So the first knit stitch. So because I haven't pressed them, and I actually think it's the best thing what I did, I just roll them up, and it's easier for me to find that. No, maybe if I would have pressed it or tacked it, but I found that is like when I get this edge straight, I know I have reached the last stitch. It's such a easy thing to do with stocking stitch that you're going 1.5 stitch out. Like you see, you can kind of start to pick it here, and then that outer edge is kind of left there. So that's the main thing which you need to concentrate when you're doing this up, that you kind of get, because that will give you a nice kind of nice strong line at the back. And it also is, sorry, now I just gonna gives a beautiful line at the front where the two colors are married together. Now, and I'm literally using a tacking stitch, nothing fancy, because I want it to still have a bit of elasticity as a blanket, to kind of have a bit of movement. So I don't want it to be too tight. Now, as I've done this, I'm going to use the blue and the purple ends, unless I'm going to use the purple end here. I'm going to check in here. I have, where's the green one? Is the green one long enough to use? Green one is perfect. So I'm going to thread in this lilac. Even the lilac is beautifully long as well. Just going to use the green though. And we're just gonna thread in the ends inside straight away, so we won't leave them hanging. So with blue, anything at the bottom edge I'm leaving right now hanging, and I'm gonna deal with them when I'm getting them side seams together, okay? But I'm not gonna stress myself too much right now on the other, this edge kind of things. I just make it very clean and clear, which are at the outside or the cast on, cast off edges, and which ones are side seam loose ends. So thread that in, move to the next. We take that green. I'm going to flip the work over a bit. Okay, first we're going to stitch it on. Now, if, let's say, the green and purple stitch or the end wouldn't be long enough, I would have used that lilac here. Because in the long run, when we're looking at it later on, when it's flattened out, it doesn't actually fully matter. But it does give, because the blanket does pull and thread a bit, having the same color, even a matching stitch, just give a bit of a kind of a, it's a fine tuning, literally fine tuning. So I'm gonna go here. Okay. Even when I'm doing tack and stitch, I do look where are my matching stitches. So because we have the same amount rows on each square, so there should be, these should be lining up perfectly to each other, unless there's something looser knit, or because the squares are not that easy to make. We have had a discussion about it other days when we were making the squares, that I couldn't make more than 4, especially if I started to, let's say if I had 4
3 purlwise and 1 knitwise, the knit one would have just, my brain would just kind of, or would I have had 2 knitwise and I had to do 2 purlwise. Just the mistakes happen because you just have to be in, it's like a Sudoku. It's a very brain-teasing experience. Fantastic though, because it does make your brain work. We've done this now, the blanket, during the lockdown, and I must say it's actually very, very, it will keep you sane. It keep you thinking and your brain working. So it's definitely one to kind of consider if you're in the position that you really can't do anything. But it's also great. I do like another thing about it, because they're like a granny square blankets. Because you're doing certain squares, you can take this little Ziploc bag, put it in your handbag, and small needles, enough wool, so you could be, if you know your bus trip or your commute is taking 40 minutes, or you have to wait somewhere, and you want to take some knitting with you or not, some work with you, it is a great kind of little project to take it with you. And again, if you're any kind of a loose ends and want to kind of finish them off, they're not small enough to throw them in a bin, but they're not big enough to use like a full project on, even not for baby booties. So baby booties take very little time as well, very little wool. Then this is kind of a one of the project, or one way to use them up. And like I said, it's a small square, so you can put it in your handbag, in a Ziploc bag, so you'll have all things together. And then when you have 49 or 64 or how many ever squares you want, you can make it as big as you want. The 49 is great because you know you have, because then they just fold it perfectly. So yeah, maybe 64 is not a great number, but would be 9 by 9 would be a great number. So look at this, the way I stitched it, look at how it lines up. Okay, and that's the one of the key thing about it. Now I'll keep going, and we'll come back. I'll add these other 5 to this, and we're nearly halfway through doing this. I'm not going to bother you any more of this. You're looking at how I'm doing, but this is pretty much how I'm going to do this. I will see you on Saturday, and then Saturday you will be starting to do the edging. So I'm going to move on a couch and going to make myself a big cup of tea, take my birthday cake, what I made yesterday for my son, and gonna enjoy the Thursday. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to chat to you soon. Bye.